And that's Cody Gough. Hi, Cody.
Hi, Israelis may vary.
No, I said its realities may vary.
You did not. You said Israelis may
I said its
vary.
realities may vary.
I guess they may too.
I
I
would
don't know.
imagine Israelis vary too. No two people are exactly alike, whether they're from Israel or Chicago.
Maybe they
But
vary. Maybe they don't vary. Maybe
I'm
they.
not. I'm not throwing shade at Israelis right out of the box.
Well, this escalated very quickly.
All right, let's
I'm
start again. Hey,
why?
we're back. It's realities may vary. I am the over pronunciating Brian Noonan, and that is the always critical of my pronunciation, Cody Gough.
Hi, I'm Cody Gough of the Palestinian State, and today on Realities May Vary, Viva
Wow.
Palestine, or whatever
Oh
they say.
boy.
Brian's got some bones to pick. Speaking of international
Wow.
relations, with the Secretary of Estatio, so we'll get into that.
Not Abe Lincoln, the one who was just in China, our Secretary of State.
Is Abe Lincoln one of our secretaries?
No, Blinken is his last name, but every time they say Secretary Blinken, I think it's Abe Lincoln.
Oh, very
Secretary
nice.
Blinken was in China. Will he be meeting with the president or not? And I'm like, man, I hope not. He's got to be decomposed as hell.
Yeah, well, that's a nice nod to the Abe Lincoln, though.
Sure.
Brian also wants to promote a new show. He doesn't have to do anything. He
To
wants to
do
promote a new show that's not our show. It's someone else's show, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to find out.
You'll find out.
Live with you. A conundrum, listener involvement, engagement segment. How much do you give for a graduation gift? We'll get into that. Yeah, because it's graduation. Shouldn't graduation? I guess people are still having parties.
Party season is underway.
Yeah. All
Graduations are over. Now people party.
And speaking of parties, Brian saw somebody, not me, get thrown out of a party. And I cannot wait to hear how that came about and who throws people out of parties and why. And I mean, I can think of lots of reasons why people would throw me out of a party, but that's different.
I've never been 86th, I don't think. Hello, everyone who's jumping in, ladies.
Yeah.
It's the ladies. The ladies love the show, Cody.
Yes.
That's our target demographic.
Is it?
I'm glad anybody listens. I don't actually have a target demographic. I'm just grateful that anybody's here.
I'm shocked anybody listens.
Yeah. So what's your check-in? How you doing? Give us what is it, 30-second, 3-minute, hour and a half check-in.
Yeah, it's a quick little top of the show check-in. I have nothing to all I've done any second I've had free time for the last week or two is play Zelda.
Wow.
Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It's very good. I only, I got off work at like 7 tonight. I was working late tonight to catch up with stuff. And I had like an hour, and I got my garage. I got one of those cork boards, not cork boards, but pegboard.
Pegboards. Oh, to organize your tools.
Yes.
So you look like Bob Vila.
Yes. Yeah. One of my brothers had one in his garage. Want to get rid of it. I'm like, yeah, I'll stick it up. Anyway, I've been just procrastinating. Like I just haven't. Well, that's not true. I've like started to do it 18 times, and every time, I end up being a dad and having a kid interrupt. Well,
those kids, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, today, neither of my kids were around. My wife wasn't around. They were all off doing family things, various activities. And so with my mere hour and a half of free time, I did not even pick up my controller. I went in the garage. Wow. I said, this is the only time I'll have to do this. And it wasn't like I just had to like screw the pegboard into the wall. Because you have to, I have drywall in my garage.
Right. You got to anchor it.
So, I got to anchor it, and you've got to, with my type of pegboard, you need to put some wood behind it so that you can push in the metal things into the actual peg holes.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
Right?
If it was flush to the wall, how are the little hanger deals going to go in there? And exactly. I think that's the technical name of them before anybody ats me, the little hanger deals.
Yeah, it is. And
okay,
so,
thank you.
So there was the extra step of I had to cut 2 pieces of wood. Not hard. It took 3 seconds with Roger's skill saw he gave me. Thanks, Roger. But anyway, so like I said, it wasn't like I just put 2 screws in the wall. Cool, we're good to go. There were a little bit of extra steps, but yeah, I did that, and now I'm doing this show. Wow. So I didn't get to have any fun tonight, and I'm blaming you.
Well, boy, you every week you have something that I'm held responsible for. I'm starting to take umbrage. I may take some umbrage. Hello, everybody else who's been joining us.
Okay, here's this. You're responsible for the only time I left the house all weekend. So thank you for that.
and you got some beers out of it, so that was good.
Yeah.
And you were very helpful. It's a something we'll share news about that down the road. But yes, you were very, very, very helpful. You are, for those of you who still think Cody is just some goofy intern who does fake sick voices when he's calling in, as I go for a callback from 20 years ago. No, he knows his stuff, and he is an expert, and his expertise was very appreciated this weekend. Not for hanging pegboard in my garage, but I actually don't have room for pegboard in my garage because both sides of my garage are shelves, built-in shelves. So I got that's my organization, and my tools are just down in the basement. Because years ago, my uncle told me not to leave my tools in the garage because the temperature fluctuates too much and they might get moisture. And I don't know. So my tools are all in the basement, which makes it a hassle when I need a tool. Then I got to down in the basement, got to go back in the little storeroom, find my tools, carry my giant tool bag upstairs because I'm a union carpenter. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that. That's impressive. Are you allowed to say that?
It's stolen valor. It's stolen carpentry valor. People know I can't use even a square correctly.
Yeah.
I know how to operate a saw, but I wouldn't call myself anything like a union carpenter. Let me see. Are you done with your check-in? Your check-in was fabulous.
That was all. I have nothing.
That's all you
generally to offer. I generally have nothing to offer, but
that's not
true.
That's not true. You always have plenty to offer.
And I must validate JP in the chat. Cody's still sketchy. True.
Yeah. Oh, a cage match between Craig and Cody.
I don't know why we'd do that. We'd be a tag team.
Oh yeah,
we'd
Sketch
fight
Brothers. Sketchtown.
What have you been doing with your life?
Let me tell you this.
How are you?
Well, thank you for asking. As scripted in our segment. Thank you for asking. I did fall asleep earlier. I know last week I woke up just before the show. Today, I was running errands and stuff, and Debbie was working, and I got home about 4:30, and I was like, "Hey, you want to watch the Righteous Gemstones from last night?" So I made it through the Righteous Gemstones, and then I fell asleep for about an hour, just in the chair. And I woke up, and I'm like, I was lost. I honest to God, thought it was Saturday. I woke up, and I'm like, oh, no, what are we going to do for dinner? It's Saturday night. No, it's Monday. It was not Saturday. But so I'm not groggy like I was last week. But I feel there's a spring in my step because I got some new insoles today. I know this does not sound like big news, but anybody who suffers from any sort of foot pain, plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, you're too fat to walk on your feet-itis, which I have all of those. This is why I don't go to the doctor, because everything that gets done then leads to more trouble. It's a racket. Medicine is a racket. They're always trying to get to upsell you. Medicine is the McDonald's of medicine. Because it's always an upsell. All right. So you remember I've had many maladies, but most of them lately have been I had my wrist done last year, where they took the 3 bones out of my wrist. Remember that? That was fun.
Yes.
Then prior to that, I had my toes worked on, where they went in and they took bone out and they straightened my toes and they put pins in. Remember all that?
Yeah. And you went with Aquamarine, I believe, for the pedicure final.
Yes. It was, I unicorned it up with my toes hanging out. It looked good.
The sparkles were a good touch.
I thought so. Rarely do you see a man of advanced years walking around in, open-toed mules with some sparkles on his toes. Unless you were at the Pride Parade yesterday, then you probably saw it.
I was going to say, now's the time everyone is seeing that.
Okay. But, me, I was still teaching last year, so it was an unusual look for me to roam the halls. You sound like my dad's uncle. Each time he's going to every time you go, Marta, every time you go, they find something or they don't find anything. And then they tell you to go get some tests and the tests find nothing. Anyway, so long story short, because I had my toes fixed, I was in a boot for a long time and then a surgical shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was in it for so long, it messed up my heel. So I have been literally in constant pain every time I walk for the last almost year. I would describe it as chronic pain.
That sucks.
It sucks hard. Well, they prescribed all kinds of things. They had me go to physical therapy for a long time. They did this and that, and nothing was working. That was, I think I told you about the girl who was doing acupuncture, boop boop boop, or what did she call it? Needling on my leg to loosen up all my muscles because since I had to be in that boot for so long and it had thrown off my gait, my muscles were all knotty. So anyway, then finally they say, you know what, you should probably get some orthotics. And I was like, listen, doc, I've had many different kinds of orthotics in my life. None of them have worked. They're all just a pain. They don't work. I give them time, blah, blah, blah. They don't work.
What's an orthotic?
An orthotic is something that molds to your foot and, depending on your ailment. Like I also have flat feet, which I've had since I was a kid, and I had to wear orthopedic shoes, which was the most humiliating thing. I couldn't go buy shoes like at a shoe store. I had to go to an orthopedist where they just sold orthopedic shoes and it was like me and 80-year-old women all trying to get their orthopedic shoes. And so all my shoes looked like dress shoes. And then they had this giant rock where my arch was supposed to be to kind of lift my arch. And I remember being crying. My feet hurt so bad when I was a kid at times, trying to walk in these shoes. Then I wore flip-flops all through college. That probably didn't help. But literally all through college, that's all I wore was flip-flops.
In Illinois?
Yeah, it's Southern.
It gets very cold in Illinois.
Not at Southern. Well, I mean, obviously I would, occasionally if I was going to be outside for any long period of time, put on some shoes.
Well, it's not that obvious. There's always those yahoos walking around in flip-flops and shorts in 30-degree weather. Look how cool I am. I can play guitar.
I may have been one of those back in my younger days, my 18 to 22-year-old days. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong. That's when you're supposed to be that guy.
Right.
18 to 22, All right. So they do. Now it's, I tell them that they didn't work. Oh, no, don't worry. We don't have to do the plaster molds or anything like they usually do on your foot. What we do is we just scan it with a laser. It's very high tech. Just hold up your foot. We'll scan it with a laser. And then, we'll be able to build this thing. And then miraculously, it'll slide into your shoes and your feet will feel great.
A bigger miracle would be if insurance paid for any of this.
There you go, Cody. What do you think a pair of orthotics run for a man like me?
500? 3,000.
What kind of commie liberal pinko are you?
Sorry, I forgot we're in America. 3,500.
$1,200.
Oh, all right.
$1,200.
What wasn't that?
And I'm like, I'm not paying $1,200 for something that in the past has not worked before. So I spend like 2 days online looking up orthotics, because you can buy. Now I know because they're in all my algorithms. I know every orthotic brand, every orthotic style, everything. So I started with a pair of Dr. Scholl's, and they were working. They're working. We're working okay. And I was like, well, it's been a while, and I think I need maybe something a little sturdier in the arches. So I started looking, and I found a brand that was inexpensive, free shipping. They were made in Michigan. And I'm like, these sound like, if they don't work, I'm out $35. No big deal. Better than $1,200, So I got them today and I was walking tall today, feeling good. It's still, but so there's my check-in is I'm happy as a clam right now. My feet still, my foot, it's just my right foot, it's bad when my thought was only $1,200. Yeah, Mike, that is, but it's like only $1,200. Yeah. And now I may get the same relief for $35.
Now, not $3,500.
No, $35. Now, maybe in like 6 months, I got to get another pair. All right. So that's $70 in a year. I'm good with that.
Yeah, but then you got to buy twice. And wouldn't it be more efficient to just pay the $1,200 the one
No,
time?
here's the deal. Because if they work and they give discounts if you buy 2 or 3 pairs. So suddenly it's not $35 a pair anymore. Suddenly it's down, it's a little less.
Oh,
Yeah,
so you're paying like maybe
right.
60
You're
total.
getting your bulk discount. Plus, like I went years and years and years without it. I'm guessing there's going to come a time now when I'm not going to need them anymore, or they're not going to break down. It'll be everything is going to be good.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, I have worked trade shows wearing dress shoes that were not comfortable. So in that way, I can relate to very painful feet, and I know that
Yes.
insoles are greatly helpful,
They
wildly
definitely are.
helpful. So
These have a nice deep heel cup to keep I pronate, Cody. That's what I do. I pronate because my foot is flat. So my foot rolls and then so everything's not in line. Everything should be straight right down the back of your calf into your heel. Boom.
Wow.
Well, because my foot is flat, and I'm heavy, it kind of rolls it toward the inside. And then so your foot's rolling toward the inside, and then your everything's off.
Yeah.
So now this is what I'm doing. So I'm straightening it up.
They have medication for that. My wife was actually taking some. I can give you some. She was taking these prenatal vitamins.
Yeah. I take vitamins.
No, prenatal for your thing.
For my flat foot?
For your prenate?
No, my pronate.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I see the confusion. Yeah, it's pronatal.
Very. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's my check-in. It took a little longer, but it allowed me to once again say why I'm not a fan of the medical profession. I know they do good work for some people. For me, it's all everything's a scam.
Well, I mean, look around.
I know. We live in a carnival.
We do.
The whole country is a carnival. And I don't want to be the dupe. That's the thing. I don't mind living in a carnival. I got nothing against funnel cakes and corn dogs and seeing Yahoos trying to win an AC/DC mirror, but I'm not going to be the mark. I'm not going to be the one walking down the midway and the carnies go, that guy, he's the one we can take advantage of. Not this cat. No way, daddy.
Well, that was that was a nice 17-minute check-in, 30-second check-in we both did. I killed Brian somehow.
I may be dying.
Hold
on.
Well, where do you want to start with the content, the thick, girthy content that we have ready for today? I have nothing to offer today.
Why do you have nothing to offer? How can you go a week? Don't you have any warm homespun stories of your children's antics? Weren't there shenanigans at your house?
No. Hey, we're off. We're not going to be here Monday, July 3rd, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, well, look, next episode, I'll have a ton to talk about. So,
why?
Well, here's the thing. My wife and I are very busy socially, but 99% of that is invitations to stuff. Right? Like you invite me to Fobab or Beer Under Glass, or there's a wedding we're invited to, or someone's baptism or party or something or another. Like we never sit down and say like, you want to plan something? We never do. And I love planning and I love doing that stuff. We don't like
planning something for yourself or planning something like at the house or
we're never like, oh, do you want to invite somebody over to do a thing? Or do you want to go and see people, see if we can visit people? Like we just don't.
You don't go a calling?
We don't go a calling.
Oh boy.
Which is fine. It's just where we are in life. I think, if we want to make more friends, we got to go a calling. But well, the reason I bring this up is because this Independence Day weekend, we had made tentative plans to drop off my son at my parents'.
Okay.
Because he'll be out of daycare for one of those days. So he's got some extra time and they want to see him.
And he likes to blow stuff up. And your dad has lighters.
Probably. I don't know I think he's actually going to be afraid of fireworks if he's anywhere near them, but we'll see. But the reason I bring this up is because we made that plan in conjunction with my parents. And then we're looking around and we're like, no one's doing anything until Tuesday. Like none of the people we know, everyone, all the parties, all the get-togethers, all the barbecues, they're all on Tuesday.
Really? Do people not have to work on Wednesday?
This is my thing. I'm like, do the fireworks on a different day somewhere. Like, there's no parade anywhere. Like not in Lombard. There's probably parades all around us, but
Yeah.
like, there's no parade. Like, there's no one's having any get-togethers. Like, it's just like a blank weekend. And at first, I'm like, well, maybe it's time for us to plan something. Let's have some people over.
There you
Blah, blah, blah.
go.
But then I realized after getting into this, I finally have a free evening with no family around. I can finally put up a pegboard. I went completely super hardcore the last 3 days and did a ton of research, watched a ton of YouTube videos, read a ton of reviews and how-to guides, and I started building a schematic for my desk project.
Wow.
Which, do you know about the desk project?
I remember you bringing it up before, that you're building a new desk. That's the project. But I can't remember the specifics, but I do remember you saying months ago that this was something you were thinking about.
Months ago, my wife and I went to a resale shop in Loves Park, just outside of Rockford. It's called Hidden Treasures. I love it there. And but you buy a booth and you just sell stuff.
Right.
Like a big indoor flea market. Well, there are some wood like mill vendors there, and there were a couple big slabs of live edge wood.
What is live edge wood? What does that mean?
It's literally just like a wood slab, like milled from a tree, and on the edge of one side, there's still bark.
Oh, okay. That's kind of what I thought, but I'm glad I asked. It sounds cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. So I bought two. It was like buy one, get one free. I got they're 100 inches tall and like between 16 and 20 inches wide, depending. It kind of arcs in. So it's a bit like two big slabs. I'm going to join them together and finish them and seal them and all that stuff and get them bonded and stuff and make a desktop out of them. It's going to be a huge desk. It's going to take up most of my office.
I was going to say, what are you, the president?
Basically.
Okay.
And then when I'm done with that, I got to figure out the legs, but I want to build a desk out of it. So I'll have like basically a tree in my office.
You're like Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah. I want to replace my old. I have like $100 desk I got off Amazon, which has actually worked well, but it doesn't. It's whatever. So I want to do this.
You're a man of a certain level. You need a statement desk. So when the kids walk into your office, they know Dad's important.
Yeah.
They go, look, he's not using some IKEA put together desk. This man chopped down a tree and built his own desk. Mm-hmm. That's our father. Mm-hmm. And they'll swell with pride. Yeah. And then they'll go, what do you do? And you go, I go online and I talk crazy and I play video games. And they'll go, oh, yeah, nice desk.
Pretty much.
All right.
But anyway, so that is this weekend. So instead of we default to social activity, but I said, you know what? I could actually use like a couple full days of just this. Yeah. So I don't do wood. I'm a very amateur, brand newbie woodworker, so I don't know what I'm doing at all. And so I was looking, and I'm like, well, what's the best way to combine? So you actually get the two pieces because I'm connecting them along the long edge. It's 100 inches. So then I'm like, all right, well, you use wood glue, but how do you do? It's called a glue up. How do you do the glue up?
Oh,
it's a woodworking term. Yeah, dude.
Giant clamps.
Everywhere I read,
biggest clamps in the world.
Yes, everywhere I read, it's like clamps. Like people on forums are like, "Here's my woodworking shop. What do I need?" And everyone's like, "More clamps."
More clamps.
The number of clamps you need is the number of clamps you think you need plus 2. At all
times.
This
is like your more cowbell catchphrase. More clamps. That's going to be some of the merch. We got to start getting some merch out with catchphrases.
Yeah,
more
clamps. Basically. So Mike in the chat, yes. I'm going to use, do you know what dowels are?
Of course I know what dowels are. You got 2 holes, you put a little dowel in, dowel rods. But then you got the glue where so the dowels are in there to keep the sides from shifting, but you still need the clamps.
Yes.
But this thing, you said this thing was how wide? 16 to 20 inches? Both of them? So you got like a 32 to 40 inch depth?
No, so I got pipe clamps.
What are pipe clamps now?
They go onto a 1/2 inch or a 3/4 inch pipe, and they secure and lock onto that, so you can use any length of pipe you want.
Wow. You like
And
to lay the pipe too.
I do. So I'm gonna
This
go
is
to
gonna
Ace
be good.
at Ace Hardware. If you buy a pipe, you can cut it while you're there. And I actually did that when I started working in curiosity.com. I had to build a studio. So I had to build a frame to put a soundproof curtain around the microphones.
Right.
And to build the frame, I used pipe, and I bought the pipe and had the measurements, and I used a hand pipe cutter and hand cut pipe in Ace Hardware, and then walked it back to work like during one of my work days. Bolt
Damn.
bolted it into like a floor 2x4 basically that I needed to buy because I couldn't bolt directly into the floor or the walls because like of the way we were paying to rent a space.
Right.
So I can't like bolt like pipe to the walls. So
Eh.
I had to come up with basically a whole freestanding like system of pipe and drape to like surround us to somewhat soundproof it was crazy.
Wow.
But the point
You are
is,
handy, Dan.
dude, no, so I ordered a ton of stuff on Amazon today. I'm gonna borrow my dad's random orbital sander. I think I have enough clamps. All that I've read, people use either biscuits or dowels to line up the 2 large pieces of furniture. I went with dowels because I don't want to buy a biscuit cutter because that's like $100.
Right.
And I'm only going to use a few dowels because everyone's saying they're like the glue is actually stronger than like anything in the tops. Like the dowels aren't going to add really any stability, and neither are biscuits. The glue is what'll do it. The biscuits are more to just get it aligned.
Now, is this a nice Elmer's school glue that you use?
I'm gonna use I was gonna use Gorilla Glue, but there's one other one that's I guess just a lot of woodworkers use that I'm gonna go with instead. But yeah,
You're gonna get high too, sniffing all that glue fumes.
Dude, I'm just
now. Do you have to build it in your office?
No, because my office has an 8-foot sliding glass door. So
Right.
I can lift it up over the balcony in the back. I can like climb a ladder.
You have a system of pulleys?
Well, that's how they got the door up. The contractors, when they were building the deck, before they put on the railing, they used a system of pulleys. And
you need a system of pulleys to hoist. You're
hoisted. Yeah.
Wow.
No, but I'll use a combination of ladders and friends of mine that I pay in beer and my wife, and we'll just hoist it up
Hoist it up.
And then when I get it inside, I can keep it in my office until I figure out what I'm gonna put it on. The one thing I don't have figured out is the legs.
Oh,
which is pretty important. But like, one thing at a time. I want to get the whole thing finished, leveled, sealed, sanded, like all ready to go, and then I'll either build a frame to put under it and then attach legs to that, or I'll get a couple metal legs, put them on there.
Yeah, I just pictured 2 things like you. I pictured wood legs, but then I pictured a nice wrought iron decorative legs.
Yeah.
Like, so this raw wood sitting on top of these wrought iron legs might look nice too.
It would look really nice, but all the iron legs I've looked at are really expensive.
Well, yeah, that stuff's expensive. But then it's a table. Do you want to put drawers and stuff in it, or
I don't want to put drawers and stuff. The thing is, I would like it to be, I think I'm going to go with wood because I'd like for it to be a custom height for me because I'm so tall.
Nice. Yeah.
So if I can get it.
No, that I get that 1,000%.
Yeah,
we need things a little higher.
1 or 2 inches would be great. Marta in the chat saying metal legs would look better. I agree. Probably would look better, but
custom metal legs would cost you an arm and a.
But even regular metal legs would be like a couple hundred. I could shell out like $500 on it, and it's like,
right.
So I'll figure it out. But I want to get the top done this coming weekend.
Or you just sit it on top of a folding table?
I mean, temporarily, I'll probably just stick it on other furniture and then
milk crates.
Get the top all done, and then when I get the legs figured out, I'll just put them on the balcony. And I've got all my power tools are cordless, and I have an outlet here if I need it. And then I'll just attach it. I'll just bring it in and attach it in here, or I'll go on the balcony and do it, and then carry it inside.
Man, oh man, how heavy is this? How heavy is each piece?
At least 30 pounds a piece.
Oh, that I was picturing like it was heavy, like if you were doing a marble countertop.
No,
I'm weighed hundreds and hundreds.
It's
Oh, so it's not real. It's not real thick.
right. It's like a 3/4 inch, maybe an inch thick.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
picturing like a, something like this thick, like 3-4 inches.
No. I mean, there's still it's still gonna be a heavy desk. I mean, it's gonna
Oh
be.
yeah, no. I'm not saying that. I just thought it was
So.
going to be. I was picturing a like when you see some of those coffee tables that they make out of like a tree stump, and
Yeah.
the top of the coffee table is like 6-8 inches. I thought it was something like that, and you were gonna have this giant, yeah.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, I follow. Yeah.
Right.
No, none of that. No, and then also in the chat, Marta said if you do metal, then it might be easier to adjust elevation, like use as a standing and a sitting desk. So I have a standing desk converter. It's basically a plastic stand with 2 monitors on it because I'm a big
Ooh,
deal.
you are a big deal.
And it's got a hydraulic lift that I can just like squeeze it and lift it up. Part of the onus for me getting a bigger desk is that it's really deep. Like it's super deep. And so it hangs off of my desk a little bit. And I end up having to kind of sit kind of close to the monitors. What I want to be able to do is push it back because even at the narrowest, this desk is going to be like 36 inches wide.
Wow.
Or something. So that there's a ton of space. I mean, I've got big bookcase speakers that are like 6 inches wide by like 8 inches deep. So they're really big speakers. So I need a lot of space. And then I also sometimes use my personal laptop and my work laptop for separate applications during the day.
Wow.
So I'm going to have like a master computer. And that's in addition to this studio.
I'll tell you what, you have plenty of room for activities on there. That's nice.
Yeah.
So, it sounds fun. So, and that sounds like a thing where you need some uninterrupted time, a lot of uninterrupted time.
Yes.
And as much as your children are lovely, they do tend to interrupt, as all children do. It's not unique to your children, but they don't always get that, we're working on something. I don't, this is not the time for trains and trucks, my friend. It's time for saws and dowels.
Yeah.
Heavy duty epoxy.
Yeah.
That'd be nice though. See, we're kind of the same thing. All right. We got nothing. Debbie's birthday is Monday. So,
the 3rd?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
And, back years ago, because it's the 4th of July, we would have some people over, and we haven't done it for years because she's like, I don't want to celebrate. But we're looking at, like, we've got a graduation party on Saturday for my cousin's kid, but then nothing. And it turns out she has to work on Monday. She doesn't get Monday off. She only gets Tuesday off, which I know. I'm like, what kind of terrorist knuckleheads are, got to work on Monday. But she's working from home on Monday. So let's say the schedule may be a little lax. Anyway.
These people that made this decision. Terrible.
Yeah, that's just dumb. Because I'm going to, she works for a law firm, and I'm going to wager that no attorneys are working on Monday because it's the holiday weekend, and I'm going to wager a small percentage will be back on Wednesday. But anyway, so I said to her today, I'm trying to figure out what to do for her birthday. And Molly's going to be out of town, which we just found out last night when she called and asked if Walter could come for another weekend. And I'm like, oh, good. The weekend where everything is exploding. That's going to be terrific.
Oh, no.
So, but I said today, I go, hey, you want to have a couple people over on Sunday, and, I could cook and we could celebrate your birthday? No. Okay. Because her thing is, whenever people come over, we got to clean. Got to clean this. Even if things, now, I don't mean that to sound like we live in squalor. We do not. Like, I would be perfectly happy. I think we could be ready for people to come over in probably a half hour. Vacuum real quick, take some Clorox wipes on the sink, and you're good to go. Debbie does not. Any visit requires deep cleaning. Yeah. Like a 3-day ordeal. And I'm always like, okay, but place looks, I tend to keep it pretty clean.
I'm like that. I'm like that though. Like when I used to have parties in my apartment, like in the city, big parties. I mean, it was like scrub every inch of that place till it's spotless.
I would clean. I always clean the bathroom, before people come over, and make sure everything is vacuumed and dusted. But that, are they looking at the inside of the oven? No. If
Well,
who's looking in my oven? If you're looking in my oven, guess what? You're getting Hansel and Gretel. That's it. I'm tossing you in and I'm turning it up. Let's go. That's how we do it here. We don't mess around.
speaking of Hansel and Gretel,
Yeah. What happened?
well, my wife picked up my son from school and my daughter from my parents' house earlier today, and they got home 5 minutes after we started.
Oh,
And
okay.
I haven't actually seen my son today, or my daughter. I
I
haven't
bet
seen
he
one of my
looks the
kids.
same.
It's terrible. They probably but she probably looks different. No, I hear a lot of very angry screaming from the girl.
Oh,
And a lot of pounding, and I don't know if it's my son banging
be-
on his door.
could it be your son pounding on your daughter, causing her to scream?
No, they're friends. I'm just like,
Do you want to
just
take a
like,
look?
are my kids being demons? No, because what
No,
am
your wife is out there.
well, if I pop up my head, I'm like, do you want help? If she says yes,
then
then
you're
I'm gone for 20
yeah,
minutes.
then you're gone. That's
She
you're
says-
not coming back.
Or if she says, yeah, do this thing, and I'm like, well, that'll take too long. She'll be like, then why'd you ask? And then I
Right.
just,
It's better to just pretend you don't hear it.
yeah. So
And tomorrow, and then spend the night not sleeping because you feel guilty because you didn't see your kids for one day. And then, boo-hoo.
no, I'm definitely sleeping because
You're
I'm
past that?
No, it's because I'm going to take an edible like 10 minutes from now, because I always do during the show.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Near the end, usually doesn't kick in until after we go off air.
Well, yeah, it takes a while.
But tonight, I'm just going to go whole hog because I got nothing to talk about. He said after talking for
I
30
was going to
minutes.
say, you just talked for 40 minutes. You always say that. I don't have anything to talk about. And then you lead into something. There's always something.
I'm such a good improviser.
You are fantastic.
Don't even know it.
You know how I yes-anded that?
I
That was
do.
Great.
Well, but all the rest of the stories are yours.
No, well, that's because you don't. That's because you don't think of them before you get here. Like I jot, because I know you like to do the check-in and you like to do the tease of what's coming up on the show, which is very professional. So I always have to make sure I have a few things written down so that I can give those to you, even if we never get to them. Much like my entire radio career, where I would write out a huge outline of things. I had lists of topics and piles of papers, and half the time we would only use about half the stuff because the rest of it would just be things that came up off the top of our heads.
But since we previewed stuff,
right, we do have to get to those.
We technically have to get to them. Now, sometimes we get to 1-2 minutes before we're done.
Correct.
But we
All
got
right,
to
let me say this then. Alexi Janulius in the Illinois Secretary of State's office is running a scam.
Nice transition, Brian.
Thank you, Cody. I'm getting cranky because I see everything as hokum and a scam now. There's nobody's fourth. They say on the Secretary of State's website, you know what? You can make an appointment so you don't have to wait in line for 2 days to get stuff done. Guess what? You can't really make an appointment unless you live downstate, because those are the only offices that come up when you're on the Secretary of State's website trying to get an advanced appointment.
Ooh.
I have to take my aged mother to the Secretary of State this week to get her driver's license renewed, which I am on record telling her I think is a bad idea. The woman can barely walk. She hasn't driven since September. The other day, we were discussing going, and she goes, I get the feeling that you want me to fail this test. And I said, well, if you'd like me to be honest, I don't think you should take the test. I said, I don't see how you can drive because you can barely walk. You can't turn your head, and you can only lift your arms up this high. I said, quite frankly, physically, I don't know how you can drive, but I am willing to take you over there and you can take the test. And if you pass, I can't say anything about it. And if you fail, I didn't have anything to do with it because it's the state, not me. But I also know that if you just go to hang out at the Secretary of State's office and you're trying to take, because she's got to take a vision test, a writing test, and a driving test because she's 86. So she's got to do the whole shebang.
Wow.
And if you just go and hang out in line, you're going to be there either all day or you're not getting in. And so I'm like, well, it says right there you should make an appointment either in advance or check if there's same day appointments. There's neither. So I've been trying. Saturday morning, I got up at 7:00 to get on the website when they opened to try to get an appointment.
I don't like that.
No, it's like I'm trying to get Taylor Swift tickets, but I'm not going to get any of the enjoyment. I'm only putting all this effort in so I can go to the Secretary of State's office.
Wow.
That could not be that could not be a more of a lose-lose situation. I'm losing sleep and then I'm going to lose a day. So it's, now one of her friends, then she tried to argue with me. Well, what about friends went over on Tuesday and the line was around the building, so she didn't go. And then she went back Thursday and there was a big line, but she got out of the car and the guy just took her in. So you don't need an appointment. I said, well, that's a risk. I said, I'm only coming out once. I said, no offense, Ma, but I got some stuff to do. I'm happy to take you, but I'm not going to every day pick you up and hope that this is the day that there's no line and we can get in.
No, well, there's a lot of multiple comments in the chat suggesting that you can just go stick her in a wheelchair and she'll just go to the front of the line.
Well, I will. Maybe she's on a cane. If I bring her a walker, maybe that'll. But see, that's maybe if you bring somebody on a walker or in a wheelchair, they should look at him and go, "They're not getting a license." Come on, let's be honest. I first of all, I understand the not wanting to lose your independence. I get that. I will say, since I've been having these conversations with my mother, every time I've almost gotten in an accident, it's because an old woman has just stopped in the middle of the street.
Wait, point of order. Does she want this so she can actually drive, or
yes,
ID at the bank?
No.
But
she's on me because she wants to drive as fast as next week. She's got plans. She wants to drive.
That's not is that under the speed limit? Driving as fast as next week? Is that the speed limit, or?
Yes, you're driving. You're trying to cheat death. You're driving as fast as next week.
Wow. That's
fast. So the Reaper cannot grab your back bumper and skit you to death.
Just get her a cross stitch, a framed cross stitch of just the word family. Give her that.
And what will that do?
Well, then she'll feel fast and furious.
Oh, is that? Wow. I have not seen. I saw the first one. That's it. Did not see.
I haven't
see any of the others.
I haven't seen any of them, but the gag I see for all the memes is that apparently they're all about family.
Oh, I know that.
Well, Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel's all about family. No, Tammy says I should drive out. Yeah, if I wanted to go to Quincy or down to Marion, if I wanted to take her down to Carbondale, we have some barbecue and go to Marion. Peoria always has appointments. I go visit Craig. Let my mom take her driver test in Peoria.
Dude.
But then here's the problem. Then if she fails, I got a 3-hour ride back with a weeping old woman who now is, she's already told us, I could take it up to 3 times in a year. Okay. At some point, I just have to, at some point, I just got to let her do it.
Do what I did when I had issues with the passport and contacted congressmen. No, I'm dead serious.
Say what?
I'm dead serious. Call your congressman's office. Say, I can't get an appointment for my mother at the DMV. Can you help? And they will totally help within 2 to 3 weeks.
I don't know if you heard me, Cody. She's been calling me every day. Did you get my appointment? Did you get my appointment? I have somewhere I have to go next week. Did you get my appointment? I said, where do you have to go? Some friend of hers is coming into town and they want to meet for lunch. And I'm like, okay, can't you take an Uber or something? Well, I want to drive. I'm like, all right, I want a pony. So let's figure this out. We're going to, so, but then I also have to go because I realized my driver's license expired in April.
Oh, no.
So I've been breaking the law.
When does mine expire? Let's look.
And I have to go now and get, I have to get the driver's license, but I figure if I'm going to get the driver's license, I might as well get the real ID. When did yours expire?
In April.
Yeah. See, we're both scofflaws.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
No, you want to come with?
Is it 2023?
It is 2023.
God.
You, me, and my mom will all go to the DMV together. Get our driver's license.
When's the last time I showed someone this? Haven't I flown since then?
Yeah, but they don't look at the expiration. They just want to see your face.
No, they don't. No, hold
Do
on.
they?
This is
Okay.
a thing. Well,
Slow your
if I
roll,
tried,
Daddy.
no, I tried to get into a bar the day after my license expired one time, and they said, no, you can't come in. The guy was a dick. It was someplace in Logan Square. I'm still mad about it. This was like 10 years ago.
I remember having something like that happen to me too, where the guy goes, your license is expired. And I'm like, so? He's like, well, theoretically, this isn't legal anymore.
It's literally not. It's not like legal. It's not. You can't legally use it. Apparently, it becomes invalid, which is idiotic. But it's probably there's probably some stupid reason. But everything's dumb.
Tammy's just like, come out to Dixon. Yeah, if I get stopped now, I'm not. If I get stopped taking my mom to get her driver's test, and I end up going to jail because I have an expired license, and she has an expired license, and she shouldn't be driving anyway, it's going to be, this is just a cluster.
I flew on May 26th, and the TSA let me fly with an expired license. That's extraordinary.
Wow. Well, thanks to the dedication of the people trying to keep us safe. That's all. That's all we got to worry about. They want us to stay safe.
Hold on.
So yeah, it's plus I got to bring in a ream of documents for this real ID. So I got to bring my passport, and I got to bring like 4 bills, and I don't know. Tammy's willing to come and bring all 3 of us out to Dixon, Cody, so we can just roll up to we'll just roll up to the Dixon DMV, and they'll go, what are these big city folk coming in for? And none of us have legal licenses. Woohoo!
I can't believe. Did I fly back from Martin Con? I did. I flew both ways. I flew to and from Minneapolis. Oh my God. I just texted my friends because my friend Max always jokes that I'm going to miss. I've missed like 3 flights to gaming conventions, and Max always gives me a hard time. So he always gives me a hard time that like I shouldn't, like I'm going to miss I'm like, hey, everybody got tickets to go to Minneapolis. See, it's Friday morning. And he's immediately, if you wake up on time. So now we can add this to the mix that I flew with an expired license and just somehow,
I can't believe you got through.
I can't believe it. I can. Oh my God, there's so much to unpack there. But anyway, contact your congressman.
I don't have 2 weeks. I got to get this done. So here's my plan.
Ask the congressman
here's the thing.
How long it'll take.
I called her at about 4:00 today to lay out my plans. Now, for somebody who's that antsy to get this done, she has yet to return my call. So there's 2 ways I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
I can say every morning I'm going to try to get a same day appointment, knowing that that's not going to work. I told her if she doesn't think I'm trying hard enough, she could ask one of my other brothers to do it. That didn't go over well. So my plan is to Thursday morning pick her up early while my other plan is that, and I shouldn't say this. Somebody may be listening that tips her off. If I pick her up real early, she's still going to be drowsy. So when I get her over to the place, if she gets in, she'll be drowsy, and then it'll throw her off. But, if we have to wait, then I've blocked out Thursday as the day that I will sit there at the Secretary of State's office and seethe in my own juices. Now, I probably, if I'm there, could get my stuff done, but then I don't want to be in line, getting my stuff done while she's trying to get her stuff done. I have to be available in case there's, in case she has a meltdown and starts hitting people with her cane because they tell her she can't drive anymore.
My God.
I did say, I go, if you pass, I'm still driving your car back home. You can drive. I'm not riding while you drive. I said, I will, if you pass, that's great. I can't say anything about it, but I'll still drive your car back home, which I had to take in last week. She wanted it all checked out.
So are you mad at the second? You started this by saying you're mad at the Secretary
because they
of State.
tell you they tell you to make an appointment and you can't make an appointment.
But
yes,
what if you?
That's why I'm mad, because they say you can make an appointment.
Aren't they preventing you from doing a thing you don't want to do?
No, because I still have to, because she's calling nonstop, except today when I actually called her. When I don't leave messages, she calls all the time. When I actually leave a message and say, call me back and I'll give you my plan, So, yeah, Marta, that's why we're not going tomorrow, because it's Tuesday.
Are they open Monday?
They're closed on Mondays. Because why not?
Monday?
Why wouldn't they be? Sure, why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they be? Because they're open on Saturday, so you can't have state workers work 6 days a week. I don't know, maybe hire some people who work Monday through Friday and some people that work Tuesday through Saturday. That's just me. That's that's my managerial style. I try to, because listen, if you work for the Secretary of State, you're getting paid good, you get a pension, you're all set. It's not a cush job, but it's a job where you're, if you stay there, you're all right. You're set up. So if my schedule was you're going to work Tuesday through Saturday, it's not like you're working all day Saturday digging ditches. You're working Saturday till like 3. Big whoop. So yeah, I'm mad at the Secretary of State, Cody, to get back to the initial premise.
Okay.
Alexi Janulius, I'm looking at you and your non-appointment taken website. There. That's that.
Well, I look forward to hearing the results of this.
Yeah, and now that I've gone off on the Secretary of State and we've both admitted we have expired licenses, I'm sure I'm not going to run into any trouble over the next couple of days. I'm sure everything will be just hunky-dory.
I can't believe my license is expired. That's out of control. Have I gotten carded since then? I've definitely been carded because we went to a bar in Minneapolis and they carded me. What is going on? That's insane.
Because when you get carded at a bar, they're not looking at the expiration date.
They are. I wasn't allowed to go into a bar in Logan Square like 10 years ago for my friend's birthday party.
Those are hipster doofuses.
I had to go back home and get my passport. I was furious. I had to go all the way back home. It was like an extra 40 minutes till I got there and all my friends were there from out of town. It was awful.
Tammy has probably the best suggestion. She says, tell Molly I won't watch the dog unless she takes grandma to the DMV.
Yeah, where's the granddaughter responsibility here?
You know what? See, good question. Because when I would go and do things. Now, Molly loves my mom and she goes out there and stuff. But, she's not working now. She's starting a new job on July 10th. So she's got a little time off because I think I might have mentioned, you know how when you give 2 weeks notice, again, that's a scam because nobody lets you work 2 weeks. They tell you not to bother coming back.
Who? Well, that's not always true.
Nah, a lot of times it's true.
All right.
So she gave 2 weeks notice and she gave 2 weeks notice on what's today? Today is Monday. So last Tuesday, because she was off, we were all off last week for Juneteenth. Well, not you and I, we were here. But so she goes in Tuesday and gives her 2 week notice. And they go, you know what? Friday's your last day. And then on Thursday, they said, you know what? Don't even bother coming back tomorrow. And then she went in on her laptop Friday morning to do a couple things just to finish out. They had taken away all her access Thursday night. Whoosh, she's out. She couldn't be happier to be out, quite frankly. She can't wait to start a new gig. But yeah, so there's another scam they're running on us. See, I'm not one of those. I'm not like an anti-vaxxer or that, but I have lost. I'm seeing a lot of hypocrisy and a lot of BS running around nowadays. But that's me. So
I mean, when healthcare is profit driven, it's stupid. I've talked about how capitalism's ruined everything.
yes, capitalism. I just
It
want money.
has.
I know. No, listen.
Everything
come
is
on.
bad. Like there's like your appliances will die after 7 years.
Yes.
Because they are specifically designed that way to give corporations money. Who
Right.
wins, the consumer or the corporation? The consumer. Or the consumer does not win.
No.
And that goes down the line for every single thing that you can think of. Like everything is made worse because it is better for a brand.
We live in a disposable world. Nothing is built to last anymore. You know, that's why when people go, oh, why do you keep? Because some old stuff is great just because it's been around for a while. And newer stuff, you know.
No, it goes way more than that. It's like subscriptions. Like, we're not going to send you receipts when your monthly subscription gets paid.
Nope.
We're just going to hope you remember. Is that good for the consumer? No, but it's good for the business. So there's not a law against it. You'll automatically renew, or like at the end of your trial, we'll do this, or like whatever. Like everything.
Yeah, if you do a free trial of something, 7 days or 30 days or whatever, they don't let you know that it's up. And unless you put a big alert in your calendar, I've done that the last 2 years with Prime. Debbie has a Prime account, but like at Christmas, I don't want to use her Prime account because then she sees what I'm getting her. So right. I've used the 30-day, you know, you could have Prime for 30 days. I'm like, oh yes, I can. Haha. But I make sure I leave notes, alerts in my phone. I write it on my old school paper calendar on the wall. I got all kinds of things because I know after 30 days, well, once the holidays are over, I'll just use Debbie's Prime account. You know, I don't need my own. I'm not going to pay for my own, but you know, but they'd keep charging me.
Yeah. No, the worst, this came up, pretty much the worst thing came up Wednesday. So I had tickets to AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, and I ended up not going because.
Oh no! Well, I know you were going to go, but did you try to sell them?
Yeah, I tried to sell them. No one would take them. I couldn't even give them away. Like I didn't know any. Like it was. So here's what happened. So I find out I can't go to Dynamite. Right. All right. Great. You can resell your tickets on Ticketmaster. So I go on Ticketmaster. So I try to resell the tickets and I try to list them so that I make the same amount of money back that I paid. Well, in order to do that, I have to actually list them for $50 more than I bought them for, because Ticketmaster takes another cut of what you sell. So if I list it for $150, I will only get like 110 or like something absurd. So, and when I sell the ticket to a new person, they still charge that other person processing fees and service fees.
What?
So I already paid $30 a ticket for the fees, literally. Now I want to sell the ticket to somewhere else. They're going to charge that other person $30 per ticket that I am selling them. And they're going to take $20 to $30 per ticket from me for selling it. So the whole thing sucks, right? So I didn't think to try StubHub or another site. I just figured somebody will buy it. It's like AEW. It's popular.
Sure.
So I try to list it. So a couple days before, I'm like, I'll just take a loss. I just just give me something back, $100. I don't even care. So the Ticketmaster only would allow me to relist the ticket for $125.01, which is actually a penny more than I bought it for. And they said that was the lowest I was allowed to resell. So I had to resell at a higher price than I bought it for.
Oh.
I would still get less money. And to the end user buying the ticket, they'd pay more than what I paid. So everybody loses but Ticketmaster. So I'm like, all right, let's try an alternative method. So I tweet about it, post on Craigslist.
I was going to ask, is Craigslist still alive?
Actually, I posted on Reddit. I opened Reddit desktop, even though there's that whole boycott still going on for a lot of people. I go on the subreddit. I go on the Squared Circle, like pro wrestling subreddit. I search to see, all the Reddits have rules, what are you allowed to post or not? I search and some guy is like, oh, I got a couple tickets for a show. I go, great, I can list mine. I list mine, walk away, come back like 8 hours later. Immediately, the post had been removed. Not for any reason. They were just like, well, you should put it in the daily thread. which isn't in the rules anywhere. So, but the Reddit moderators are all assholes. I hate Reddit moderators almost exclusively. Like, the people on that site are the trash of the internet. They're worse than Twitter in almost every case. I hate that site. And the people there are just the worst. So that was Reddit. So then Craigslist. So I put it on Craigslist, get an email from somebody. Hey, are they available? Here's my number. Cool. Text the number. All right, we're good to go. Do you take Zelle? Okay, sure. I'll take Zelle. Sure, whatever. Here's my email.
Sure.
Just send me money on Quick Pay. They go, cool. It was sent. Did you get it yet? And I'm like, no. Should have gotten it. Okay. Well, check your email and stuff. Go on my spam folder. In my spam folder. Hey, you got a payment from Zelle? Not from Zelle. It was scam. So I went on to like just Zelle's website. They're like, yeah, this is literally a scam. So I text the person. I'm like, well, you're a terrible person. Reported their number and the whole exchange to the FBI and to the Federal Trade Commission, because I was so mad because I had my hopes up for 3 seconds that I might sell some tickets. And this just asshole scammer happened. So all of these things are just
human garbage.
It was all human garbage. The whole thing was human garbage. So I had one friend who was going with his daughter anyway. And I said, hey, look, man, I don't know where your tickets are. Here are where mine are. Do you just want my tickets? And when you get there, if mine are better, just go there with your daughter. He's like, yeah, sure. So I just transferred him the tickets. I don't know if he didn't. I didn't hear from him after. I don't know,
because he sold them outside for $1,000.
And if he did, good for him. But like, either he got a slight upgrade or he just said, whatever. But at least I felt like I did something with the tickets.
Oh, instead of just eating them. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. So, and like, I know how to pirate pay-per-views. So like, I just gave AEW like several $100s. Like, I'll just not pay for their next couple pay-per-views and I'll just make up for it.
I like that flex.
I definitely support it. Like, I gave him hundreds of dollars.
I know, and you've gone to in-person events before, and you bought a T-shirt and an ice cream bar, or you got the ice cream. Yeah,
got a T-shirt. I got a hoodie, amazing hoodie. I got a bunch of them. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. But,
I was disappointed I was working that night. Not that I wasn't disappointed to be working, but I would have liked to have. It would have been fun to go to one of these events with you. That would have been a good time. See a little wrestling. Haven't seen any wrestling.
Yeah.
Plus, I see our man Craig not. He's got to get up early this week. That's why he's not commenting tonight. Because he's got to be up very, very early. He's filling in Indianapolis, doing the mornings in Indy this week, where I will be joining him Friday morning for an hour. Yes. Oh, yes. That's what.
Well, now that we've agreed that capitalism is awful, what else you got?
Yeah, this ties into capitalism. The pressure, because it's graduation party season, right? Yes. People and this will tie into the guy getting thrown out of a party, a grown-ass man.
Wait, he got thrown out of the graduation party?
Yes, he got thrown out of a graduation party.
Oh, let's go, dude. Buckle up.
So, all right. First of all, what do you give to somebody who graduates? Like somebody you maybe know their parents, but you don't know the kid very well, and like I never know what to give as gifts. When it comes to money gifts, because people graduating either from high school or college, they don't want, they want money, or like a Visa gift card or something. So that
no.
What do you mean? No.
Visa gift card.
Because they don't take checks. Like in the old days, you'd put a check in there. Everybody was happy to get a check. When I was graduating and somebody gave me a check, oh man, I was happy as a clam. I'd just take all those checks. I'd deposit them in the bank. I'd have do-re-mi. What am I supposed to go to a party and ask the kid for their Venmo so I could transfer them money? No, you got to give. And they don't like cash either.
Well, give them cash. Tell them to go pound sand. I don't care if they like cash. Give them cash.
They don't like cash.
If they don't have a checking account, then they shouldn't be going to college. Okay.
Well, what if they've graduated from college and they still don't like cash?
They're allowed to not like cash, but if they don't have a checking account to deposit a check and they're in college,
said check or a cash,
they give them a check. Just write them a check. Who cares? The Visa gift card. You don't know what you don't know what the balance.
$700. What do you get?
$715. $715
and 93 cents.
$93.
I'm glad I don't know a lot of people. that have kids that are smart enough to graduate. This is why you befriend idiots, so you don't have to go to parties. See, and I got a lot of time before your kids graduate from anything. There's a good chance I'll be dead. But if I'm alive, I'll use my old man chicken scrawl and fill out a check, which won't even be a thing back then. There'll just be a sensor on their head, and our sensors will touch, and my money will transfer to them at that point.
Oh my God, that's awful.
It'll be science fiction.
All right, first, before we get into the value, let's agree the check is the superior method.
Better than a gift card?
Yes.
All right, then I screwed up on Saturday. I
never do a gift card. Wait. What kind of gift card?
A Visa gift card.
No.
So it's good for anything.
What is the advantage of using a gift card over using cash? I don't
know. A lot of people saying no to the Visa gift card. That was all right. I'm blaming Debbie for that. Because I said, do we just write a check or put cash in there? She said, no, get a Visa gift card. Now that was last Saturday. I got another graduation party this Saturday. No Visa gift card.
Oh my God.
Cash or a check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the check. If everything they transact is electronic, then the check is the most logical thing.
Because you can just take a picture of the check.
They deposit it from their phone.
The phone. You're right. Snap. Oh, stop it.
2 clicks. They're like snap for electronic deposit at Chase only.
That's
boom,
how
you're
we
done.
deposit checks.
Yes.
Yes. What now? Oh, I'm going to give Debbie a piece of everybody's mind when I go downstairs.
Dude, the Visa gift card it's literally giving them cash, but they can't keep track of how much it's worth.
Well,
right?
you could call the number and it'll tell you how much is on the card.
Yeah.
Well, you write on the back of the little envelope how much is on the card. When I bought the card, I said, can you activate this for, X amount of dollars?
All right. At least you wrote on the back of the envelope.
And effing Walgreens. I buy the gift card at Walgreens because I had to get a card, which is another scam. A card. Kid doesn't read the card. Saturday, I'm going to pound the money like I'm going into a Vegas casino. And I'm just going to shake her hand and, all of a sudden there'll be, a nice Benjamin right there, right in her hand. She goes, oh, thanks. Thanks, Brian. I go, yeah, that's how we do. I'm not going to, let's put a card. Best way, I hope you. I did get a funny card, though. It said on the day you graduate, did you know that on the day you graduate, you're smarter than Einstein? And then you open it up and it just says, because he's dead. So that was the card. That was the card. I like the card, but Walgreens charges you a surcharge to activate the gift card.
Are you kidding me?
No.
So you're paying for money?
I'm paying money for money. This time I listened to my wife. That's the last time I listened to her. 31 years I've been listening to her. Look at this. She steered me wrong.
Yeah.
And she probably is hearing this downstairs and she's livid.
No, you know what you should have got? Here's what you do for a graduation party. Mr. Fogg.
What's Mr. Fogg?
It's a disposable vape pen.
Ooh, hold on. I'm writing this down. Mr. Fogg.
Every kid vapes.
I'm sure when I go to my cousin's daughter's graduation party and I slap down a Mr. Fogg, she's going to be happy. What do you give a couple cylinders of vape juice too?
No, just I don't know. I don't know. I saw a bunch of people doing it a couple weeks ago.
Giving Mr. Fogg or smoking Mr. Fogg?
Smoking Mr. Fogg, just like a chimney.
What if I just give her one of those joints?
No, it's got to be Mr. Fogg because then you're not giving drugs. You don't want to do that. Oh, that's a great gift for me.
I was going to say, I'll get Zach jumping in, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know. Blah, you could use it as
blew off that sentence.
You could use it as blah, blah. Yeah, Zach even couldn't finish the sentence. He's like, yeah, I can't. I don't believe in this. This is wrong. All right, we're going to with a check on Saturday. But, anyway, we won't worry about the value. This actually helped more than a value, because now I know. I thought based on my daughter, who doesn't want anything other than just transfers into PayPal or Venmo, that the kids didn't like money. Well, they like money, but somehow they see cash as dirty. I never can leave the house without cash. I have to have cash in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I have to. I don't care if it's 20, 40, $500. I got to have it in my pocket. I got to have a roll. I got to be ready to go. Because if I'm out and stuff pops off, I got to have a little cash to grease the wheels, get me safely home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get you out of a jam.
Yeah. Look, I'm 20 years removed from these college kids at this point, 15, 18, whatever, 16, some amount of time. That's a long time. I'm the
I
wrong.
like that you're trying to be as accurate as in case somebody fact checks us. CNN doesn't fact check the president. Nobody cares if you graduated 18 or 20 years ago.
All right.
You could round it and it would be fine.
Yeah, I'm not a Gen Z. I'm a millennial, so I don't know. But just based on what I know of Gen Z behavior, they like the electronic transfers, and the closest thing to an electronic transfer to their bank account is a check, because it's just because you can't put in like your Venmo QR code and print it
Right.
and be like, scan this and you'll get $100. So you just do it with a check. It's the same thing.
Yeah, no, I'm going with a check.
Or
And-
just pull up your Venmo and be like, hey, scan this and I'll pay you.
Yeah,
know.
open the card, text me, and I'll give you my Venmo.
Just be like, scan here to request $100, and then I don't know. But I was for value. Depends on how many you go to. Like, if
No, this is the last one. I had 2,
okay,
and I obviously screwed up the first one,
if
or
it
I
was
might not get invited to any other parties. Which, at least then I would not be exposed to a guy getting 86th, a grown man. Man, he's got to be late 40s into 50s. This guy. So I'm at a party, graduation party. We're there, and it's a very nice party. Everything is fine, and I see a guy who I know, and I like to see this guy. I don't see him very often, but I see this guy, and we're talking, and like I didn't notice him drinking more than me, and I was fine, but all of a sudden there was how some people, when they drink, there's that tipping point where they go from coherent and sober to really sloppy and loud and angry and dopey.
Uh-huh.
This guy hit that. I don't know how. It was like we were sitting outside talking, and I don't know if he came drunk. I don't know. Because I think he'd only had 1 drink at this point, or maybe he was on his second. And because I saw him when he walked in, and I was surprised right by the drinks. And then we started talking, and he got a drink, and we went outside, and then I think we got another. Anyway, he's belligerent. Not to me so much, but he's talking to the graduate, and he's just, when a drunk gets really earnest in their conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and very emotional, and they want to hold on, and it's, everything is so serious that my mom texted me 1 minute ago, any news on the driver's test?
That was 9:45 p.m.
Yes, of course. Because
Okay.
why wouldn't you listen to your voicemail and
Are you going to
go,
answer it?
oh, Brian, not now. I'll answer when I'm done, or I'll answer it in the morning. So he gets to a point where he's really haranguing the graduate. And then he starts talking to the graduate's girlfriend, and the graduate is like, oh, we got to go inside. It was one of those quick, like, hey, we got to get out of here. And then he started swearing a lot really loud. Now, I'm not a prude by any stretch of the imagination, but I've been around your children. I don't swear in front of your children. There's a time and a place for profanity.
Mm-hmm.
It's most times in most places, but then there's some places where you can't, I would say church, but I have sworn out loud in church once, caused a little scene. That was okay. It was because a guy almost dumped Molly on the floor.
Yeah, you've talked about that.
Yeah, so that I did. But anyway, So we go back in now, and I'm going to get another drink and maybe a little food. There was good food there. Nice. It was a lovely party, you know? And there's a little girl. Well, I find out later she's in preschool, but she's going to kindergarten or full day preschool next year. So she's maybe 4, let's
4 or
say.
5, yeah.
Yeah. And the guy tries to engage in conversation with this girl, but he's drunk and scary. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing, little kid? Hey, how are you?" And he's getting like overheard. She's panicked and she's like trying to hide behind her mom, and her mom is like, "Okay," and trying to get outside. And then he goes to me, look at this chick. And I go, "You can't call a 3-year-old a chick. She's a little girl. You got to stop." And then he's swearing some more, and the host is with his kid and his youngest kid, and there's friends of that kid. So there's a lot of guys. I'm guessing, let's say anywhere between 4th and 7th grade. There's guys in that realm. And this is a nice suburban neighborhood. These parents are, take they're not Gruff City kids. These kids, they're private school kids. They're not exposed to the seedier side of life. They're gonna be like your kids, nice kids, nice kids, like Molly, a nice kid. Well, Marta, let's not split hairs. Can we call a 30-year-old a chick? Well, we'll see. But anyway, depends on time and place. There's a situational chick calling is, whatever. So then there's a kid, a boy, and the guy's like, "Who the F are you, kid? What are you effing doing here?" And I'm like, and now the host has come up to me and goes, he's gotta go. And I'm like, "What? I didn't bring him." He's like, "I know, but I can't have him swearing in front of the kids." And now he's terrified. This kid is trapped. Like it's a family room and off the kitchen. And to get back into the kitchen and out, he would have to go past this guy who was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's not trying to be scary, but he's drunk and aggressive and cursing. And so he is scary. So I see this happen. And I go to the kid, "Hey, what's your name? Come here a minute. Oh, what grade are you in?" And I start asking him some questions. And I can see he's calming down now because I'm talking to him like a human being. And he's telling me about being in 7th grade and going into 8th grade and blah, blah. And then this guy comes over, "Oh, what's with this effing kid?" And the kid literally runs out the front door of the house. Ran out the front door of the house, went around to the side and was banging on the gate so people could let him in. And at this point now, the guy goes to me, "I think I'm getting kicked out." And I go, "Well, I'm trying to, I go, listen, I'm not offended, but you can't be swearing and stuff in front of these kids, you can't do that." And he's getting now he starts to cry. And he's like, "Well, you got a family to go home to." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm not mad at you." I said, "Sometimes it's just, you got to get 86. Sometimes you got to go home, and that's okay." Then the host came in, and it took probably 10 minutes for the host to try to get this guy to go. And then he's so hammered, the host of the party was like, "Let me call you an Uber." "No, I'm not taking an Uber." He's like, "I'll call one." "Nope, I'm going." So he got in his car and he went home. But I have not seen anybody get tossed out of a party in a long, long time. And the nice thing was there were no fisticuffs. So that usually the last time I saw a guy get tossed out of a party was probably in college or right after college. And it's usually accompanied by a fight. So that was nice that this did not happen. I think I did a good job of not blowing anybody's cover.
I would have taken his keys.
Yeah, but then he stays.
I would have taken his keys and called an Uber. And
yeah,
I don't know. But
it's hard, man. Well, I wasn't involved in that part of the deal. That was Because then the host's partner came over and she was like, "Oh, did he come with you?" And I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. I've known this guy for a while, but no, he did not come with me. We just saw each other here. We're talking, and she was like, "Oh, well, we appreciate you trying to help kind of corral him." And I was like, "Well, I wasn't, that's not why I was here, but what are you going to do?" So that was the excitement.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. Now I feel like I feel like the jerk because no, I'm not disagreeing with Cody that he should have taken the keys. I'm not. You're not getting any disagreement from me. I'm not arguing against it.
Yeah, you weren't
it
there.
wasn't my. Yeah, it wasn't my. It wasn't my call.
Yeah.
I didn't make a drunk spectacle, but I gave a gift card. So now who's the real bad guy? Really, who's going to be remembered? The drunk or the guy who gave a Visa gift card? I think we know the answer. So I'm never getting invited to this house again. Never.
I think $50 is fine if you don't interact with the person a lot. If it's somebody in your family you see regularly, $100, good family friend, $100, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good.
I mean, the thing is, like, yeah, it's like, I don't know. They're gonna graduate, college is. I was gonna say, like, for a wedding or something, that the
wedding. You try to give whatever they would have spent having you there,
at least, right? Because they're shelling out. Graduation party, they're not really shelling out for you. They did shell out probably $100,000 for tuition and some combination of that.
Man, that's that's parents.
But that's for the kid, that's the parents. So yeah,
that's a parents thing. I don't worry about it. No, it's it was a lovely party, and I know the party Saturday will be fun for my cousin's daughter. So that'll be nice. And the minute I get home, I'll swear I never want to leave the house again, because every time I leave the house, I get back and I swear I don't want to leave the house again.
Right.
But that's fine. So last thing that we teased, I got to give everybody a TV show to binge. So yesterday we decide it's going to be kind of a lazy day because Debbie had been given some extra assignment that she's been working on all weekend. Like, she started working early on Saturday morning. She worked till late. She started working yesterday morning at like 8 o'clock and she was working. And then it got to be the afternoon. And she was like, well, we had talked about there's some movie coming on Prime that we wanted to watch. Well, it turns out it doesn't start streaming until next week. So we're flipping around in Prime just to see what they got. And we see this show because we kind of like crime dramas from England. The ones we've watched have been really, really good. And so we come across this thing called Deadloch, L-O-C-H. And we watched the preview, and it's set in Tasmania, in the town of Deadloch. And the teaser says it's a comedy and a drama. And I'm like, usually that doesn't mean anything comedy-wise. And we watched the trailer, and we're both laughing our asses off. And we're like, all right, let's try this. Let's try Deadloch. It's a without spoilers, they find a serial killer in this little town, which has become kind of a denizen for lesbians. But then there's still straight people who've lived there for a long time, but they've, and so there's a sheriff who we don't know at first why she's there, because she used to be a detective in Sydney. And she is married to a woman who is like a veterinarian, but very needy and always needs to talk about her feelings and is very funny. And the sheriff's kind of funny. Well, then they're going to send a detective from the mainland to help out with this case. And this woman is out of her mind. It is so fun, just because they can swear and stuff, because it's Australian. Oh my God. There's this underlying story of a serial killer, and they're really trying to solve the case. But just the interaction between the sheriff and this detective who comes over is out of control. It's and then the townspeople, it's not like slapsticky funny. It's like if you were just hanging around people and they said funny stuff, just as a part of the, they could be talking about this, and then a funny line comes out. And it's hilarious. It's 8 episodes. We watched 6 yesterday because we thought 6 was it. And then we get to the end of the last episode, and it's like, this can't be the end. And it wasn't. So we got 2 more episodes, but they don't come out till Fridays.
Ooh, and that's the whole series?
That's the whole series. It's short.
Nice.
It's fun. Deadlock is the name of it. It's on Prime, and it's a great mystery because we still don't know who did it or why or what's happening. But it's got a level. It's not like a dumb buddy cop comedy. It's not like Lethal Weapon where they're going for laughs. There's no slapsticky stuff, but it's just wild. And this woman who plays the detective that comes over, I can't stop laughing. She's just hilarious. But part of it is the Australian slang that they use too is really, really gruff. It's just
Do you use
funny.
Subtitles?
No, you can understand them much better than I could Dairy Girls. Dairy Girls, I needed subtitles.
Yeah, and
I'm from I'm not from Ireland, but I know a lot of real Irish people. I couldn't understand Dairy Girls, but everything we've watched from the UK or now Australia, we could understand.
Nice.
And then I was like, oh, look, though, they drive on the wrong side of the road too in Australia.
Yeah. So it's not a true crime. It's just a murder mystery.
It's just a murder mystery.
Okay. Yeah, I'm totally down with that. I think my wife would enjoy
check it out. It's fun because it's, like I said, it's not a straight up comedy and it's not a straight up procedural. It's a really good mix because there'll be stretches where it's just the mystery part. And you go, oh, did they forget to be funny? Nope. Bang, 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 bang. Nope. They didn't forget to be funny. They just, we had something else to cover. We'll throw in a couple funny lines over here.
Nice.
So yeah.
We've been watching Archer.
Oh, dude. How the seasons have gotten a tad weaker, and once what's her name? Jessica Walters died. It was a little hard, but Archer is hilarious.
Yeah, we're on
I love a good foul-mouthed cartoon. I love cartoons where they're really like Human Resources came back on Netflix. It's by the people who did Big Mouth, which is another horribly adult cartoon. Human Resources is just so funny too. Where are you at in Archer?
We're halfway into season 2. I've seen at least through season 3. This is her first go through, and I thought she'd take a minute to warm up to it. And first episode, she was all in.
Yeah, that's how Debbie was. It surprises me sometimes. Like that was how she was with Sons of Anarchy, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh yeah. And now Mayans, we're watching the final season. She loves that stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes like watching Human Resources, she'll shake her head and just go, oh, I can't believe they said that. But that's the best part. That is the best. Well, look at that. We covered everything that was on our tease list.
We did good. Mostly you. It was good, though.
We did. No, stop. You got you had carpentry with Cody for the first half hour.
Get you some carpentry.
Yeah. And you set me straight on the checks.
Yes.
And we got to realize your hatred of Reddit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your hatred of the Secretary of State's office.
Listen, my hatred of everything my hatred knows no bounds. It's free range hate. Maybe that's hold on. I'm writing that down. That might be the title of the episode.
Very nice.
Free range hate. People go, oh, is it some sort of political statement? Nope. It's just that I hate stuff. And it could be anybody. Vera and Shetland are good. Are those shows, Marta?
Sounds like shows because that came up right when you were talking about shows.
All right, those are shows. Well, listen, It's been lovely. And good luck this weekend. I can't wait. So yes, we are off next week for the 4th of July holiday. We will be back then the following week. So that will be the 10th of July. And yeah, and then we'll hear all about the table and the dowels and the glue and the clamps and everything else. Can't wait. And hopefully everybody has a wonderful 4th of July. Happy belated birthday to our good friend Roger, who turned 116 the other day and posted pictures of his toes. Weird, but we love him and hope he had a wonderful birthday.
We've done weirder.
We have. All right. Well, our time here is up.
Well, happy Independence Day. Enjoy blowing things up, and we'll talk to you after that because we'll be blowing things up. Especially if I go to Taco Bell, my butt. Bye.